Hi, and welcome back to the Dark Renaissance series. I'm Fwop, and we're going to talk about something really important today. Today we're going to talk about the core mechanic of Darkest Dungeon. Before we do that, I want to make sure I don't forget anything. So I'm going to... First off, I'm going to see if there are any negative traits I want to get rid of. Fear of Eldritch is pretty bad. Satanophobia kinda sucks. Kleptomania can steal some money from you, that's for sure. Rabies is... Rabies is kind of acceptable on a Hellion. Fear of Eldritch. There aren't that many Eldritch enemies in the first couple levels. That was it. Satanophobia. Fear of Eldritch. I think the Necromancer might be like human Eldritch. I can't remember. Satanophobia is really unfortunate on a Crusader, as he does extra damage to Holy. I don't want him weaker against it. Alright, it's as cheap as that's gonna get. Okay, anyone need stress relief? Bertrand, why don't you... Actually, when people meditate, sometimes they gain improved balance, which is acceptable on him. Reduced treatment cost, huh? Oh wait, is it? And it's cheaper. 6 busts. Will do. Okay. Thankfully, that's all I have to pay here. Let's go to Stagecoach. No negative traits, alright, that's pretty good. Necromania, +1 speed when below half health, amateur armor smith. It's kind of cool, I already have a guy with amateur armor and weaponsmith that is a jester. Solo, stress, stun resistance, and stress heal. Mockery is cheap. Especially if you can make it up to him later. I'm gonna take this Jester just because. Still
at the end.
Yeah, Hard Noggin and Resilient isn't not bad. Stress Heal is something that Jesters can do a lot of, and Stun Resistance doesn't hurt, but not having to worry about negative trait is quite nice as well. Alright, so let's talk about the core mechanic. Core mechanic of Darkest Dungeon is, I want you to hold something in your thoughts, think about it. It's Resolve XP. So like any other RPG out there, here it is. You gain Resolve XP, you go up levels, Resolve levels, and you get better, right? I mean, that's how the game works. Here we have a level 0 needs 2 Resolve XP to level up, fresh off the cart. Level 1, you need 8, and level 2, you need 14. So, as you go up in levels, it takes more and more Resolve XP to reach the next level. So that's the basics, right? Simple. So what makes this the dynamic that shapes all of your goals, everything you do in the game? It's what happens. What you get from Resolve XP levels is what shapes the game. So every time you level up in Resolve XP, let me just leave this here while I talk about it. There are 3 things that can happen. There are 2, maybe 3 benefits. One is guaranteed. You become more resistant to stress in every fashion. Every source of stress affects you less the higher your resolve XP. How much? It's noticeable. It's not a ton per level, but it definitely stacks up, and it's very noticeable at the end. The higher resolve, like a level 4 or 5 resolve XP character, will take, like, I don't know, significantly less. Maybe like it feels kind of like 30% less stress, where low-level people tend to take a ton. You might, on like big stress hits, like 20 points from, say, a stressful incantation, you might suffer 20 plus stress damage at level 0, and at level 2 you might suffer like 15. So that's great. That's always good. What else happens? Well, your resolve level determines how high your upgrades can be. Your upgrades can always be 1 higher than your resolve level. So at level 0, you have level 1 abilities. This number right here below the ability says what level it is. So you start off with a couple level 1 abilities, and you have level 1 armor and weapons. So at resolve level 1, you can upgrade to level 2 armor and weapons, and you can upgrade your skills to level 2 as well. Alright, so that's all gravy. We all understand that. That's nice. So we still haven't got the game changer. The game changer is at at resolve level 3, you can no longer go on level 1 missions. Alright. So the repercussions of that shape everything. Now, I haven't experienced this myself, but I'm going to go ahead and guess that at resolve level 5, 2 higher than level 3, kind of like 3 is 2 higher than level 1, you can no longer go on level 3 missions with a hero. Alright, so when heroes start refusing to go on missions because the enemies are too weak or beneath them, then the only missions they can go on are harder ones. So once your guys hit level 2, they are as strong as they are ever going to get and still able to go on level 1 missions. Because when they hit 3, they have to start going on level 3 missions at least. So what does that mean? That means that the strongest heroes you're ever going to have on level 1 missions are level 2 heroes. And the strongest missions you're ever going to have on level 3 missions are level 4 heroes. And the strongest heroes you're ever going to take on level 5 missions are level 6 heroes, etc. You can only get up to 6th level in the early access, I think, but I'm not sure. Also, your equipment and upgrades cap out at level 5, at least in the early access. So then the trick is to take fully upgraded level 2 heroes on the hardest possible missions, because they are most likely to succeed. They're also most likely to bring back tons of loot and treasure. So you have these cycles, let's call it the heroic cycle, if you will, where level 2 and level 4 heroes are especially strong versus the weakest quests they can go on. Now, you can take people on horrifically hard quests, but even I don't do that, and I feel like I have a fairly decent handle on the game. So, how do you get Resolve XP? You get it for completing missions. Now, there might be an opportunity to game the system and have fully upgraded level 2 heroes going on missions and then canceling right before the end. You won't get the quest reward, of course, but I find that you get to carry out more loot than the rewards. So, that could be a thing that people might do, and I plan on figuring that out in a side game. I'll experiment. But, yeah, you get Resolve XP from successful missions. The longer and harder the mission, the more Resolve XP you get. So, if I want to use my level 2, if I want to use my level 2 heroes as much as possible to get the maximum amount of loot, I actually want to take them on the shortest, easiest missions I can, because that way they'll be able to go on the most level 1 missions before they level up. So it looks like I can take a level 2 hero, curious. Maybe you actually keep the resolve XP you had earlier. So that means at level 2 she only needs 6 XP to level up. Anyway, if I want to take her on the most possible, it looks like I can take her on... she's got 6 XP left. A short apprentice level 1 mission is exactly 2 resolve XP. So I could take her on 3 of these before she leveled up. Or if I were being extra sneaky, I could take her on 2 of these and then 1 really hard level 1 mission. You definitely want to take level 2 characters against the bosses that are level 1, and you want to take level 4 characters against the bosses that are level 3, and you want to take level 6s against the level 5 bosses. It just makes sense. Now, at levels 2 and 4, your upgrades are levels 4 and 5 respectively, which is actually 2 upgrade levels over the enemies you're facing, which gives you like maximum advantage. Now that advantage only exists if you can pay for and have those upgrades unlocked. So this is why I struggle to get my level 1 upgrades up. Right here. Right here. So I can upgrade all my level 1s fully. Now level 1 characters are pretty good against level 1 monsters. I found that level 3 characters are not quite as good against level 3 monsters, which are pretty beastly. So I assume that level 5 characters are okay against level 5 monsters, but in general, that's not how you want to be. You want to be ahead, not behind. So, why do I tell you all this? It's because what you need to do is hold off. When you get characters to level 2, hold off giving them XP, because you want to maximize your gain from them. Wait till they are fully upgraded with level 3 equipment and skills, and then you want to send them out to kick ass and bring back loot as much as possible until they go up to level 3. Once they're level 3, they have to go on level 3 quests, and suddenly they're the little fish in the big pond, and much more likely to get crushed, whereas before they were crushing. So that's what I have to tell you. That you need to capitalize on the windows of relative strength you have before you get kicked out of the little pond into a bigger one. So, all of that said, long-windedly, oh, I want to look here. The Solar Bracer, if you play with Torchlight high, this is really sick. It is really cheap to keep light above 75 at pretty much all times. And this gives you 10 dodge and 3% crit chance, which is awesome. That's like a perfect item. Just don't let the light go down. Plus 5 accuracy, minus 8% health is pretty good for Plague Doctors too. No complaints there. However, I'm not going to spend all my cash on it. Alright, so, talking all about that junk, let's jump into the missions. I already checked out all the missions. I'm not going to any boss fights anytime soon, as I want a solid crew of level 2s who are all upgraded. Which leaves me with these way too high level missions, which have some items that are kind of boring, really. So instead we're going to go on this nice little easy mission, and we'll take... who? This guy? He plays the field. Let's bring Cambria. So I also, one thing you want to do is nurse your level 1s. I want to upgrade my level 1s. They should kick ass. Two. She's got the yawp. do I want to take? Come out. View pawn Ross. Can't collect from the back. He's a middle goer. Health dodge. So highwaymen have better dodge than bounty hunters, and bounty hunters have better health. Good to know. Barbarians have decent, Hellions. Okay, so let's look at these characters. We got Montcanisi, or Khaleesi, as I like to call her, Viewpont, Ross, and Cambrai. So these guys are all level 1. I can upgrade them, and I should if I want to utilize them to their fullest. And I totally do because I want to win, right? Okay, so that took me below my preferred 10,000 stash. So we're gonna go a little light on this stuff. Cambrai here has to fight from the front to be effective. She's a first position, if possible, character. Viewpont has point blank shot, which means he can move up to first position, or he can be pushed back. He'll probably start in first position. So let's upgrade point blank shot, which is pretty awesome. How fast is he? Speed 4. She's speed 4 only because she's extra speedy. Okay. And what other abilities do I really want to hit with all the time? Those. Her. Breakthrough. Since I'm going to be using her from the back, I want breakthrough. That's pretty much it. Roz. I find collect bounty, the 100% extra damage against tagged, which I presume is marked targets. I don't think it happens all the time, but this attack has a decent crit chance. Finish him is nice, does not have that crit chance, but does do extra damage versus stun. It can be used from anywhere, which is awesome. Flashbang is also awesome, and I use it a ton. I'm gonna bring... go ahead and upgrade these two. And thankfully I can't even afford upgrades on Cambrai. Alright, so I've paid for weapon and armor, skills. These guys are well equipped. Cambrai, Viewpont, Ross, Actually, I want him up front. Looking at my equipment, I think, yeah, I've got some equipment on you, and you're the only one. Let's look at the what I want here. Here we go. Minus 12% damage, minus 2 crit, resist affliction, death blow, no thanks. Debuff skills, debuff resist, no. Stun skills, that might be worth it, as she has Barbaric Yawp, which is awesome, but... And she's kind of fast. Okay, we'll bring that because it is kind of awesome. Lepers, Vestals, Plague Doctor. Khaleesi we're gonna give this 10 to hit, 3 crit, far less dodge. Alright, we're gonna look at hit points. 22, 25, 30. She's got 40 for some reason. Oh, because she's tough. Nice. Alright, no camping. Let's go. Alright, at least I've got 5,000 here. Now, we don't have a healer. So we're going to bring a dozen food, even though it's an easy mission. I'm going to bring 2 shovels. One of everything. And I'll bring 4 torches. So I don't like going this low in cash, but since it's kind of an awkward party mix, let's do this.
The fiends must be driven back. And what better place to begin than the seat of our noble line?
Alright, once again we have 6 rooms. Seems to be almost guaranteed. Let's use a shovel. And hope it's worth it. Alright, we surprised him. That's good, he went first, just as planned. I wonder if they count as stunned. Ooh, ouch. Okay, I was gonna barbaric yop these 2 to stun them. It does put a really 20% damage and 15 dodge penalty on you, but I figure I can kill him off without resorting to that.
Give them no quarter.
Note that this awesome breakthrough ability can be used from any position and it hits like 3 people, but that's the only thing I can use besides Adrenaline Rush from back there. Alright, literary treasures, sure. Alright, Lo, a fight. Alright, she has resolve level 0, so she takes 19 points. We'll get to see if we get to compare here. We're gonna go with Barbaric Yomp for the double stun. This is like the best stun in the game, because people are always shifting up to the front. Oh, how much stress did he take? 16, so there you go. I think we was at 0. Let's try and kill these guys in the back. No dice. So as long as we off these front 2, let's actually shift this guy somewhere and maybe stun him. Alright, there we go. Now of course that stacks, which is brutal. It is really nice for finish him, but we're trying to avoid getting like splashed on by these things.
Confidence surges as the enemy
Excellent.
crumbles. As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Alright, her damage is down. Bleed out's not going to do anything against these guys. Let's just tick him down. We'll advance back to the front. We don't have to shift our party around. Now the debuff lasts, what, 2 turns I think?
But a victory nonetheless.
So as long as we don't fight anything soon, I'm going to let the torchlight die down and pick that up on the way back. Oh, there it goes. It goes away after like 2 steps down the hallway. So yes, she suffered 15 damage from that trap. I hate you, Fusiliers. This guy is problematic. We can bleed both of them. Let's see. What's the difference? It's a little more accurate and it does 2 bleed. Our chance to damn it. 7, 2 points of bleed. That'll kill him in 4 turns. It's not enough, but with a little help, yeah, he's not going to get a turn.
The The
Beautiful.
bigger the beast, the greater the glory.
Not horrifically likely. It's not like our crit chance for that is any good,
Singular
but
strike.
excellent. Now we're reduced to a Fusilier, and in the first rank, he is not terribly effective. Even less so when stunned. Oops. Could have used a bandage to prevent some of his bleed. At this point, we're just going to let it go. You can go ahead and do extra damage to stunned, or not. Now, bleed out is got a small damage bonus, excellent crit chance, just as good as Wicked Hack, and it's just as accurate. It also inflicts 3 points bleed for 3 rounds, but it reduces your damage and gives you that same, I don't know, like off balance penalty, I guess, that Yawp does. So that would probably be great against, say, like the Swine King, like something with a ton of hit points. You can just put the bleed on it, forget, take all the hits, and we're done. There you go, guys. Quest complete. That's what happens with room battles sometimes, and if you're scouting really well, then you can make that happen really, really early. So let us key this puppy.
If only treasure
Take
could
all the
staunch
goodies.
flow of otherworldly corruption.
Walk off this, and everything after this is bonus, guys. Okay, note that he has 30 hit points, which means he gains 2 health from food, and both of these characters have that bonus as well. Yeah, contents of the sack, or mine. Alright, Iron Maiden, medicinal. Whoops. Oh, she just did that, huh? Did I do that accidentally? No. She said something and I was just not paying attention. What do I want? At this point, let's ditch Jade. That's only 250 cash. We're about to use up our last shovel.
Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
Alright, so, let's go with the stun. Let us... You know, we have 2 area effect attacks that hit the first 3 ranks. Let's just use those. Yeah, blanket fire sucks. Except when it misses. Ouch. Does not always miss. We can get a solid hit on this guy. Woo! Well played. And now we are dishing it out. As are they. I hate you, blanket fire. No. Sadly, let's see. Here, we can kill this one and stun this one with our Yawp, right? Oh no, it missed. Let's kill this guy. I don't think he's acted yet. Point blank shot will do for you in a serious way.
This expedition at least promises success.
Alright, goodies. We're debuffed again. I do want to eat for a little healing. We did bring plenty of food just for this purpose. Walk. If the debuff doesn't go away, walk a little more. And it should go away on the first turn of combat. Oh, there is no room combat, right? Because that's what this whole quest was. Cat, seriously? Seriously, cat. Cats are the most awkward beings in the existence of my life. Alright, here we are. We get greater damage. Who do we want to have this awesome damage? Let's see, 7 to 13, 6 to 12. Breakthrough has a damage mod of 55%, but a good crit chance. So the damage mod of 50%. Terrible crit chance. Let us go with her. And we'll just take the straight up damage buff. We might be able to use this holy water to get more of an urn somewhere ahead. Here, read a book. 31 stress.
The darkness holds much
It's our first
worse
adventure,
than
it happens.
trickery and boogeymen.
Alright, we know there's no fight because, like I said,
Finding the stuff is
Alright,
only the
goodies.
first test. Now it must be carried home.
more goodies.
Curious is the trap maker's
Not so
art.
good.
His efficacy unwitnessed by his own eyes.
Yeah, if I was gonna have someone read something, a higher resolve level hero is probably a better choice. Torch. It's always got some kind of goodie with it when you're wandering around the pitch dark. Uh-oh.
Cruel machinations.
Alright, know how she
spring
took
to life
19
with a
stress,
singular purpose.
whereas the other Hellion only took like 15 from each of the traps that have hit her? That's resolve level. Alright, and there's no fight in here. Or anything. So there you have it. I spent way too much on stuff. My level 0 got pretty freaked out, but we did have a pretty easy go of it. No healer necessary.
Return to rest. Devils remanded to their abyss.
Not a huge haul, but a solid one nonetheless. Excellent. We got the heirlooms. Specifically, we wanted to get a couple deeds. Alright. She goes up. So you do get to keep the resolve XP you already had, which means that... Yeah, okay. So it's 6 XP from level 1 to level 2, and it's 6 XP from level 2 to level 3. Compulsive amateur armor smith. Meditators, okay. Nervous. Nervous is bad. Stress resist is really important, but quick reflexes is really good. Warren's Scrounger. Alright. Acceptable.
Once our estate was the envy
Alright,
of
we
this
did get rid of
land.
Satanophobia. Satanophobia, perhaps. Note that our meager savings did not pile up at all. But... improved balance, hard noggin, but terrible stuff. Precision Striker is perfect on a Hellion. The Yips is awful, and Clumsy is too. Alright, this is, these are great perks for wandering around the dark, where your crit chance goes up automatically. We probably want to pick up this Hellion, even if we have to ditch someone else. Bleed resist. Okay, God-fearing. Stress faster, irrepressible. Okay. Irrepressible would be a good combo with that heavenly hairpin we have. Hard noggin, improved balance. Yeah. Let us. Deadly, quick reflexes, meditating. Let's ditch this guy and take this Hellion. We'll work with what we got. I like to keep generally 2 of each character, but hey. When a awesome Hellion comes a knockin', I will not be the one to say no. Let's just take a look at items. Tough ring, 8% protect, 20% max hit points, minus 12 dodge. That is sweet. There are plenty of heroes that have horrific dodge anyway, and protection is quite powerful. Swift cloak, 2 speed, minus 4 accuracy. That could definitely work out, especially if you have like a highwayman you want to get point blank shot off, and then have someone else shuffle him back into the center of the party. Speed cloak could really help you ensure that that point blank goes off first. And let us send you to meditation, I suppose. Since it's cheap, we want to get our worth out of it, and meditator means that she has improved stress reduction while meditating and while camping. The camping stress reduction is noticeable. They're both noticeable, but the camping one is actually kind of sweet. I didn't notice that the first time. Alright, so we rocked that mission pretty quick, which is nice because I spent a lot of time talking about Resolve XP. You can check out in the Google Doc a in-depth explanation and a level-by-level breakdown, but the long and short of it is you always want to upgrade skills, weapons, armor, actually in this order: weapons, then skills, then your armor. Because you want to upgrade the accuracy the most, and weapon and skill upgrades improve accuracy. And you always want to max out the levels of your equipment and skills as soon as possible. And at level 2 and level 4 with maximum upgrades are your best chances to crush level 1 missions and level 3 missions respectively. So that's when you tackle the bosses, that's when you tackle the extra long quests for the massive rewards or the best items. Like, let's see. Ooh, gross. Gross. Looks like it really wants us to kill a boss. Or it just send our guys into total hell. We could retreat from these. With good scouting, I might be able to manage this, and the Book of Sanity is a good reward, but somehow I doubt it. I'm probably better off trying to tackle... I might actually be better off going down this and then retreating. But that is for the next episode, where we're going to have some tough choices. Until then, yeah, remember, upgrade as soon as possible, and when you get to level 2, use it for everything it's worth. Maximum gain from maximum advantage. So, thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.